Today I'm checking out 4 different Les Paul style guitars in very different price classes. Hello and welcome to another video with me, Elmo. It's good to have you along. Yes, today I'm checking out 4 guitars. The first one of these guitars is this. This is a Harley Benton single cut 550 Deluxe. The second one is a Tokai made in China Les Paul style thing called the Love Rock. And then we have a Jet Les Paul style thing, and finally a Gibson Les Paul. It's not a style thing, it's a Gibson Les Paul. And we're gonna see how they compare. Should you use all of that hard-earned cash to buy yourself a Gibson, or could you make do with something else? The only one of these guitars which is stock is the Jet. I bought that yesterday and I haven't even tried it. This one I made a video of ages ago, and we've swapped the pickups out for vintage style low output humbuckers. And I'm going to start with the Roland Cube for clean sounds, and I'm going to talk a bit about how these guitars feel as we go along and come to some sort of conclusion towards the end of the video. The playing field is very uneven in that this one has old strings on it, so it should fare very poorly. All of these guitars are made of wood. This one is made of mahogany, but this one isn't made anymore. Nowadays they have the single cut 550 version 2, which comes with better pickups than this one did, and is slightly updated, and it's a great guitar as well. I'm also going to mention an E-Art Les Paul, but not really going to feature it because I don't have it anymore. So here we go with the Harley Benton. Try to keep these a bit short because otherwise it'll be a monumentally long video. This Harley Benton is the cheapest of the bunch and the lightest of the bunch. Well, I say cheapest, but the Tokai was a bit difficult to find what it was, because it seems it's not made anymore, at least not that version. But this one used to cost, or the current version of this one costs 329 euros, which is very little, and it's 3 kilos and 336 3 kilos 36 grams, which in imperial is about a car. You can do the conversions. You have Google, use it. Now this one I borrowed from a friend of mine, and I did a separate video on this. Let's see how it's in tune. Yes, it's not in tune, of course. While I tune this, I can say that this doesn't have stock pickups. It has a DiMarzio Evolution here and the Joe Satriani DiMarzio pickup here. I think it was called Joe, but I'm not sure. So the pickups were worth more than what my friend Matto paid for this guitar. That just goes to show there can be great value in the used market, so don't overlook that. Yeah, seems way hotter. Yes, at least the Evolution is quite a hot pickup. I forgot to say that the Tokai weighs 3.96 kilos, which is actually exactly the same as this one. So they're not light guitars. I wonder if the neck feels a bit chunkier on this one. I think this one had a modern C neck. Yeah, not as hot as the Tokai. Feels like a Les Paul. The Jet costs 479 euros. This is a Gibson Les Paul, and the cheapest Les Paul I could find on Thomann, which was not a studio version but a standard Les Paul, was 1,990. This is not a standard Les Paul. This started out its life as one of those robot Les Pauls, which had the robot tuners. But other than that, it's a pretty bog standard Les Paul. So let's see what this feels like. Actually, the neck on this feels a bit similar to the Jet. Wonder what the pickups are on this. Almost as if they're somewhere in between the Harley Benton and the Tokai in terms of output, and the Jet. Let's switch amps. Yes, turn off your tuner, that works. Yep, that was the Tokai. Right, so the whole point of this video for me was that I just had to try these out at the same time and see what the difference was. And this might be a controversial view, but I don't care. Is the Gibson, is it a good guitar? Yes, it is. It's a very good guitar. Is it worth so much more than these other ones? Absolutely not. Personally, I can't find a single reason why you should buy a Gibson Les Paul over, let's say, the Jet or even the Harley Benton. I might have gotten the best Harley Benton in the world. This might be the worst Gibson Les Paul in the world, but I doubt it. The Jet is brilliant. The Harley Benton is brilliant. The Tokai is, well, it's not, the setup isn't what I would like, but it's absolutely great considering how little it cost my friend. And this is brilliant. But this is a bloody expensive guitar. Why would you pay that much for something where you're basically paying for this name here? It's absolutely bonkers. And I promised to mention the E-Art as well, which is 419 euros, slightly thinner if I remember correctly, and slightly more contoured and a slightly more modern take on a Les Paul. And that even has that easy access truss rod cover thing, which none of these others have. These others have this stupid thing where you have to unscrew the whole thing, which my friend has unscrewed and thrown away from the Tokai. So you just reach the truss rod easily. There are minor differences, but the differences are minor. Yes, I understand the law of diminishing returns and all that, so the more you pay, the smaller the the return on what you pay is. But still, I personally wouldn't pay for the brand on the headstock. This, the cheapest of the bunch, is just fine. Granted, the pickups on this were not great, and the pickups on this, I think, cost more than the guitar, which means that the Tokai is the cheapest of the bunch. But even the Jet, oh, it's so nice. The fretwork on the Jet is pure Jet quality, and E-Art had the same thing. This is slightly more, well, not as nice. This is an expensive guitar, so I'm not even going to go there. I am going to do a complete review of the Jet as soon as possible, but this was just me wanting to try all of these out back to back. Now, someone might say, you're being paid to say these things. And, well, I'm not, because I've bought two of these and I've borrowed two of these, and the best way for me to make money off of this video would be to say you should buy a Gibson Les Paul. There is a link in the description, and every time you buy a Les Paul, I get more money. I'm not going to say that. Personally, I would get, well, the Tokai can be hard to find. I would get the Harley Benton or the Jet. The Jet, I don't have a link for. I don't have an affiliation with Jet. I do have an affiliation with Thomann, so if you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description where if you buy the current version of this guitar there, you will support the channel at no extra cost to you, and you can send it back if you so choose, at least if you live in Europe, at no extra cost to you either. If you want to buy a Les Paul Gibson, please consider doing so via the link, because that way you will support the channel. I'd advise against it, but it's your money, so you do what you want. If you haven't checked out my lesson channel, there's a video here from my lesson channel on how to really get good much faster on guitar. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a nice day, and be kind to each other and yourselves. Goodbye.